We are currently experiencing a market dip, and we have been for quite a while now. The last state of the market video, I was covering the stagnation that we've seen, and not to toot my own horn or anything, but I did predict that we would see a further decrease in prices, which we're seeing now. And on the surface level, there's not a direct reason as to why the dip is happening, and so in this video, I'm exploring 4 reasons as to why we're seeing the market in this state to give us a better idea of where we're at and where it could potentially lead. There are a few miscellaneous things here and there that do contribute to the downturn, like for example, buff pretty much getting dismantled for everybody, but besides stuff like that, I compiled 4 valid reasons. First, we got today's sponsor. SkinsMonkey is an automated trading bot that's perfect if you want to swap out your skins fast and safely. They've got plenty of filters and plenty of items to choose from, so once you've found something that you like, make sure to enter my code SPAGHETTI and you'll get cash back up to $5 on a $100 trade, as well as a 35% deposit bonus, which is 5% more than regular, with code SPAGHETTI. But if you refuse to spend any money, go to the freebies section and they run giveaways there all the time, so it's definitely worth checking out. Thank you to SkinsMonkey for sponsoring this video. And so, starting off with the first one, and easily the most obvious, we're still riding the tail end of the all-time high that we saw for CS2. That growth is so unnatural, there has to be a great correction. And I don't really want to go too deep into this because it's not that interesting, but it's still important. Any action has an equal and opposite reaction, and that's what we're seeing. But now moving into some more micro details, so we've got point number 2, which is that we've seen virtually no player growth over the entire year that CS2 has been out. Now going over why that is a whole nother video in itself, but the point is, player growth is often the catalyst for price increase. And so sustained player base means some things might go up, like cases which decrease in supply, and then something like skins which don't decrease in supply either stay stagnant or decrease in value, which is what we're seeing now, which goes pretty hand in hand with my next point, which is number 3, and that's that we've had such a high unboxing demand for such a consistent amount of time relative to CSGO's past that we have a lot of skins coming into the market, and it's a little unprecedented. But this would help explain why we're seeing some skins go down in price, because we just have more supply. And if you look at this graph, it shows Valve's consistency in releasing cases over the years, and this doesn't include the Anubis package. But basically, the less cases that we get each year, the less the unboxing demand can be split up between all the cases. And so if we only got 1 case this year, just all that unboxing demand is shifting to the older cases where we're seeing more supply come in. Again, increasing numbers which our player count has not been able to keep up with. And since skins have such a huge impact on the evaluation of the market, it would explain why we're seeing a downtrend in the overall index from esports fire. But then the 4th and final point, which is also the most speculative, is that most patient investors are waiting for an operation, and we've been waiting. I made a video on it which you can definitely check out, but if anyone's looking to invest a lump sum, the general idea is wait for the operation, and so that's what people do. And while that's great and all, what does that actually mean for investors? Well, just because the market's down, it doesn't necessarily mean that investors are down. My portfolio of recent investments has actually pretty much stayed stagnant with minor growth even during this downturn. But technically I'm losing to inflation, so technically I am losing money. But the point is, I think this is mostly to do with skin values. It doesn't necessarily mean anything that investors should be afraid of. There's not even many opportunities I see for buying right now. But all that means for investors is that do what people are doing in point 4, which is just waiting for an operation. If you have a little bit of money you want a dollar cost average in, then it's definitely worth it when you see the dips. But overall, there's not anything that demands attention right now. It's just natural cycles of the market. Also, something really important to keep note that I forgot to mention is that with the esports fire index that I'm popping up on screen, this massive dip right here is only because of buff 163. Now that esports fire doesn't use it, they had to recalculate with a bunch of different sites, and overall the tracker went a little bit lower, but you can pretty much just ignore it. That's all though. Subscribe, please. I need to eat food. That's how I pay with my subscribers at the supermarket. Bye bye.